Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Arcanum of Steamworks and Magick Obscura, Blind. Now, having done pretty much everything I can on the main continent, or at least everything that I could find, obviously there are probably things I missed playing the game the first time blind, but having done everything I could find to do, I'm finally ready to sail to the island of Thanatos and search for Nasrudin's true bones. So let's go to the helm of the ship. The wheel turns slightly and easily under your hand. Okay, so turn towards Thanatos. It's actually interesting that my character knows how to sail such a big ship, and with only a crew of, basically 5 people. That has to be quite difficult, right? Okay, there's some sort of a camp here, and a book. I've made several forays into the interior with nothing to show for my efforts, save my wounds. This island is aptly named, and I thank the gods for Smithers, my faithful guide. He has already saved my life several times over in the short time we've been here. I am certain that the Ashlag Tribe still exists on the island, and I mean to prove it, monsters or not. I have found the remains of an old site, but it appears to have been uninhabited for several years now. I was unable to determine why the site was abandoned, though I did recover some important artifacts. I write this as Smither and I lie terribly wounded somewhere in the jungle. Our searching today, we were set upon by creatures most fierce. Smithers sustained much more serious injuries than I, as he drew the beasts away from me at his own peril. He was victorious, but at a high cost. I managed to drag Smithers into a thick of the forest, into the thicket of trees, where we presumably will be safe for the moment. Smithers died today after battling madness brought on by his wounds. I fear that my time is soon at hand as well. Irony of ironies. I was discovered by the very people I came to this island to discover. Scouts of the Ashlag Tribe found me hovering near death and brought me to their camp, where they helped me to recover. Contrary to what I believed, they reside in the interior of the island, and not along the coast. The most shocking part is that there was a previous civilization on the island. The Ashlag have made their home among the ruins of some great forgotten civilization. This is the location of the tribe. The Ashlag have welcomed me as a member of their tribes, and they have treated me as an important guest. I am now privy to the secret rituals and their arcane religious superstitions. It seems that their primitive religion has gone through some revisions as of late to incorporate a godlike figure or a phenomena. I am still having slight difficulty with their spoken language that supposedly resides somewhere on the island. I have convinced the chief of the tribe to allow me to come along on their pilgrimage to leave sacrifices for their god, for their new god, which I have termed the god of Thanatos, for a want of a better description. I have also been able to discern where on the island this supposed godlike force resides. The god of Thanatos. Oh, that's very interesting, because that's the southernmost tip. And according to the revised translation of the Arcanum, the bones of Nasrudin are supposed to be located on the southernmost tip of Thanatos. So I wonder if they are somehow communing with the ghost of Nasrudin? Like, is Nasrudin the new god of Thanatos? I have returned to my base camp with the help of a tribesman to leave this journal, so that if anything happens to me, the future will know that I was successful in my endeavors to locate the mythical Ashlag Tribe. Okay. So presumably the game wants me, because it seems to be just desert from now on, and the game probably wants me to open the main map. Let me go in a kind of a zigzaggy direction so that I can make sure that I haven't missed anything else along the way. Okay.
They'll think twice before attacking us again, eh?
Okay. So, the journal said that the Ashlag Tribe have made their camp within the ruins of an earlier civilization, and it seems that's exactly what I'm discovering now. Hopefully they will have a craftsman with them, now they can sell some of this stuff too. But where is the actual village, though? You'd think it would be in the ruins, as per the description in the journal, but I don't really see anyone. The home of a primitive tribe that worships a mysterious deity. Yeah. Am I already there? Yes. But where is everyone? Or at least, you know, someone. Even if they moved or like were killed, there should be at least some remnant of their previous presence, right? I'm pretty sure it has to be somewhere near the actual center point, because otherwise why would the marker... Oh, yeah, there is blood here, so I guess that would indicate... Yeah, there's more blood. That would indicate some kind of a battle. But still, there are no remnants of like huts or tents or anything. So I don't quite get it. Let me just check over here. But I'm pretty sure if there was something to be found, it would have been relatively close to the position of the marker, because otherwise it's a little nonsensical how the marker, you know, supposedly marking the tribe would lead you, you know, far away from its actual location. It's a little misleading this way. Okay, so I guess they are not here. They might be dead, judging from the blood. But I could, you know, spend hours manually walking through the forest. But as I just explained, I don't think the game really wants me to. So I guess let's just continue. Zigzagging across the island until I get to the end. Make sure I don't overlook anything. Landbridge. Beginning of the trail leading to the god of Thanatos. Okay. Oh damn it, Varawan died. So I guess let's check this theory about Virgil being able to resurrect people.
What type of heal? I'm finished. What is it that you want?
How are you finished?
What is it that you want?
You haven't.
What type of healing do you want?
You haven't done anything.
I'm finished. What is?
It reminds me of that meme, you know. My work here is done, but you haven't done anything. Did it fail because I have too large of an aptitude? I guess so. Okay, to be honest, I'm going to save. I'm going to accept this because I didn't save when I was traversing. Like I didn't save from. I don't believe I saved all the way from the Ashlag Tribe. So I would have to go. Although I guess now I know there's nothing there, but that would be kind of cheap. So I guess I will accept this because otherwise I would have to redo all of that. I must say, his death caught me mostly by surprise. Okay, let's be safe, just in case I die again. Okay, well, let's go. Okay, I will take this, because it's useful if I want to make another featherweight axe, but the rest is not really that useful, at least at first glance.
They'll think twice before attacking us again, eh?
Is Virgil wearing something that's possibly cursed? Not that I know of, because I don't know what this means, this aura underneath him. With the cog.
Think twice before attacking us again, eh?
Okay, this seems to lead nowhere. Is Magnus okay? Is he just... yeah, he's just very encumbered. I guess he can throw this away. And I guess the railroad spikes at this point. I have never used the traps. I don't think this matters. But it's still significant though. Maybe I should just use this. Although I don't know if it's timed. I probably should save the medical arachnid for like a very tough fight. I keep losing, for example, at the end of the game or something. So I'm not going to lie, him going so slowly is kind of annoying. Because obviously he lags far behind. Oh well. I will think about it once I will find a merchant, which I doubt is going to happen on Thanatos. It seems rather deserted apart from the wildlife.
Let the blood flow.
More crafting parts, I don't particularly care. Wait, did all of this lead nowhere? There does not seem to be a path forward. Was this like a side activity? Like a side dungeon of sorts? Inside the trees? If so, then I am a little annoyed, because I haven't found, anything that was that out of the ordinary. I thought this was indeed the path I'm supposed to take to go forward. But I guess I can still go here, there are enemies here. Oops. But still seemingly no exit. Yeah. Wait, is there no exit? This kind of looks like an exit. I guess it isn't though. Well, that's a side location. That was kind of pointless. I thought this is just the way I'm supposed to go. Okay, so where do I go now then? Wait. Seemingly there's no way to pass through here. So maybe there was a path the entire time and I just didn't see it, which is pretty annoying, but... Like, this looks like an exit, right? With the road, as it were. But I tried that, you know, tried going out through there before and nothing happened. It's blocked. Well, let's try it. It's my best bet anyway. Yeah, it's like there is seemingly a path, but it's almost like, you know, the passage is closed, as if I would have to do something to open it. Maybe I'm supposed to find someone from the Ashlag Tribe, because maybe only they can pass. Like, it was clear to me that there was a road behind the trees down there, but the trees were in my way, so maybe I need to get some kind of a magical item that would open the passage for me, but then I couldn't find any trace of the Ashlag Tribe back where they was, so like back where they were supposed to be. So let me go back.
How may I help you?
I guess, because I don't have that much of an idea of what I'm even doing. Wait. It showed me another... Nasrudin's resting place, reputed to be the location of the remnants of Nasrudin. Your path is blocked. What are you talking about? So how do I get there? That is my question. Seemingly I can get to the landbridge, but I cannot get to the resting place of Nasrudin. So it's clear to me that they must be linked, probably. Okay, I will go back to the village of the Ashlag Tribe, because it seems weird that it's marked on my map and yet seemingly there was nothing there. So I guess let me look around. Okay, I'm pretty weirded out by this whole location, because it seems to serve no actual purpose. And the blood is gone, so maybe it was blood from the monsters in the first place and not from the Ashlag Tribe. I have very little idea of what I'm doing, and I have very little idea of what the game is doing, to be honest. Did the journal say anything about a particular item that needed to be carried so that I can get to the pilgrimage place? Made their home amongst the ruins. So... why are they not here? It's the question. And what is even the purpose of this location if there is nothing or no one here? Okay, clearly Nasrudin's resting place must be linked to this land bridge, but I cannot travel directly to Nasrudin's resting place. It can't be this way. Obviously the land bridge must serve some purpose, and if I have to guess, it's probably the only way to get to Nasrudin's tomb. Okay, I'm not sure how I overlooked that before, but at least, I got out. There's a wooden house here, and an elf wizard. Let's talk with him.
What do you want of me? I did not choose to live on this island for its ambience. I chose it so I wouldn't have to entertain fools. Leave me be.
You see an old elf in a worn, tattered robe. He seems a bit annoyed at your presence. He waves you off. Calm down. I'm not here to bother you. I'm looking for a grave.
That is quite the fool's journey just to find someone's dead body. I'm afraid to ask, but whose grave would you be looking for?
I'm looking for the final resting place of Nasrudin.
Of course. Searching for the great Nasrudin. Ha! The great Nasrudin. What was so great about him? Damned fool, if you ask me.
You seem fairly bitter towards the old chap.
What? How dare you, old man? Do you have any idea who you're talking about? Nasrudin was the wisest and most benevolent elf in the history of Arcanum. He saved us all, and that includes you. So I recommend you keep your comments to yourself.
Oh? And you think you know about Nasrudin, young man? Who are you to tell me about that old worthless elf?
Worthless? Why, I ought to... No, I'm not going to sink to your level, old man. Nasrudin would have had more patience with men of your kind, and so will I. I don't have to defend him.
Oh, of course you don't have to defend him, young man. The old elf was completely incorrigible. There's no defense whatsoever for individuals of such low character as he. You've chosen well not to waste your words on the likes of Nasrudin.
Wait. I feel like the game has kind of jumped its gun a little bit, because the character name was revealed to me, and apparently it's Nasrudin, so I'm pretty sure I was not supposed to learn that yet. Because I imagine in a second or two, Virgil and everyone else is probably going to be very surprised. But I feel like the game, as I said, jumped its gun a little bit in that regard. So it seems he's alive after all, and he seems kind of bitter towards his whole life and the legend that was built around him, because obviously he's almost goading Virgil by saying all those things about Nasrudin. But if I am to believe this tooltip, then it is literally him. So, you know, he's bad-mouthing himself and his own supposed greatness. So I guess he must have some reservations about the cult that has arisen around him.
You're testing my patience, old man. Another bad word about Nasrudin, and it might just be the last one you say on both feet. Do we understand one another?
Virgil, perhaps you ought to keep your voice down with our new friend here.
Does she know that?
Ah, now there's the voice of reason, and from such a beautiful young elf. You know, in my younger days, I knew a girl who looked a lot like you. She had the most wonderful name. Let me see, what was it? I suppose it would translate to something like the Silver One.
Oh, so did he know her mother, the Silver Lady, when the Silver Lady was but a young elf, you know, all those hundreds or even thousands of years ago?
Yes, I also know someone like that. She used to tell me about a great man she once knew. She told me that he taught her a great many things, that he was much like her own father.
So did she know Nasrudin personally? Like, did she recognize him? Because obviously she is probably rather old as well, being an elf.
Ah, yes. Make sure to pass on my greetings to your mother. She was such a wonderful child.
No, she couldn't have done.
And it seems she has a wonderful daughter as well. Greetings, Princess Raven.
Yeah, so it seems she couldn't have known him. So how did she know it was him? Because obviously I know because the game told me, which is a bit ridiculous and actually kind of annoying. Because, you know, I would feel the effect would have been much better if I learned it in a couple of minutes alongside the rest of the characters, where I assume he's going to eventually say who he is, because after all, Raven already knows.
I will pass on your greetings to her. It will make her very happy to know you are here among us. Greetings, Nasrudin.
She bows slightly. What? You're Nasrudin?
I would say in all my glory, but I'm afraid I haven't any left.
But you're Nasrudin. You saved the world from Arrnoax.
No. I delivered the world to Arrnoax. I put in place the system that he felt was his for the taking. I even imparted my elven arrogance to him. I must bear full responsibility for his actions.
Suddenly his mood shifts to one of quiet sadness. He shakes his head slowly. So I guess he believes that the formation of the Elven Council was sort of a stepping stone towards Arrnoax's rise to power, because at least that's how I interpret it, because Arrnoax saw that there already exists a body of, a governmental-ish body of powerful elves that usurps for itself the right to govern pretty much all of Arcanum. So he presumably just thought that if the Elven Council can do it, then why can't I do it? A bit dramatic, don't you think? Arrnoax's actions were his own.
You do not understand. He was my son.
Oh.
I taught him everything. Only to see him be carried away by his youthful temper. I should have seen it. Must have been a way to stop him before it came to what it did.
Oh, if Arrnoax was Nasrudin's son, then obviously I do understand how he would feel very guilty about, not teaching him better, because, to be honest, it's probably one of the worst things that can happen to a parent if your own child does something, horrible, something very wrong. Then I feel like all parents are going to blame themselves, at least a little bit, because you were responsible for shaping that man, that person when he or she was a child. You were responsible for imparting on them the importance of your own values, or generally values as they are, as you understand them. So to see that person later on in life to betraying everything that you believe in must be very hard. I've heard all of the legends. Can you tell me what really happened?
It started in the Age of Legends. I was young, headstrong. I thought I could take on the world, and I did. I fought the good fights to protect the lesser races, as I arrogantly called them, from the chaos that raged everywhere. Dragons, demons, evil sorcerers, I fought them all and won. And this, all before even the days of the Elven Council.
And how did the Elven Council come about?
I gathered a group of idealistic mages together, and we created an Elven Council, for the good of all. We really believed that. For a time, I suppose it was even true. I really believe things began to change when we discovered a way to banish things from this plane of existence.
Why?
It was the ultimate weapon. Once something was banished from this plane of existence, it could never return. With ultimate power comes ultimate responsibility, and ultimate corruption. We were quick to use it on new and ever more terrible threats. The Bane of Kree, Krakatur, Gorgoth, Kurgan.
How did Arrnoax fit into all of this?
Sometime during all this heroic carnage, my son came of age. I quickly ushered him into the council, amidst some of the others' protest about his young age and inexperience. And then it all came crashing down upon me. Look, are you certain you really want to hear all this self-pitying drivel?
Of course. So, what did Arrnoax actually do that was so terrible?
He had taken it upon himself to keep the balance, as he termed it. He believed that being a member of the council validated any course of action he chose to pursue. This meant attacking anything he saw as a threat, such as a city that had begun building advanced technological devices. Vendigroth, it was called.
Oh, so I guess he saw the rise of that city, Vendigroth, as an upsetting of the balance between magic and technology, because I've actually read a book about this and how those two forces, are in constant flux and opposition to each other. And the book actually theorized that it might be cyclical, even though currently it is believed that technology has sort of, technology on the level seen now has never existed before. It was just invented after Bates discovered the steam engine. But it was also theorized that theoretically it is possible that this cycle has existed, for forever, basically. And I guess this would confirm that, because he's talking about a technologically advanced city, or maybe even a whole civilization, because there is a huge part of the map called the Vendigroth Wastes. So I believe it's the remnants of that kingdom, or whatever it was, whatever form of governance it would have back in the day. But I guess they already had advanced technology back in the day. And in fact, on the Island of Despair, I've discovered a very old submarine. So it might have been a Vendigrothian submarine, because also in the letter that Kanhua sent to Mingorad of the Dark Elves, they mentioned Vendigroth for some reason. So it seems to be important, and it seems Arrnoax destroyed it back in the day because he believed that its existence and the rise of technology back then upset the natural balance of things, or whatever.
He warned them to cease their destructive behavior and destroyed one of their factories to underscore his point. Justifiably afraid for their very lives, they swiftly constructed a device that could destroy even the most powerful wizard. He responded by calling on forces that few of us had ever seen, wiping not just the city, but the whole province of Vendigroth from the face of Arcanum with one blow.
Okay.
He felt himself betrayed when the council condemned his actions. He showed no remorse. In his arrogance, he was sure he would be vindicated. I cast the deciding vote to banish my own son. If I must die, I will be the last, he screamed as he hurled the spell that brought an end to the council, the age of legends, and my will to live. It was a harsh dawn that morning on the plains of Brodgar, and it was there in the shadow of the Black Spire that our armies met in the most terrible battle that Arcanum has ever seen. As the sun set, only 4 of us were still alive to witness the destruction we had brought to pass. I found Arrnoax among the corpses of our decimated armies, and it was there that I condemned my own son to the void. It was only through our combined might that Arrnoax was subdued, and I watched my own son fall into the horror of the void. But such was the fury and power unleashed by this conflict that the very fabric of reality was torn asunder. With our remaining energy, we were able to seal the rift with powerful wards, and the Ring of Brodgar still stands today as a monument to my son's destructive pride and my own unforgivable failure. When I regained consciousness, I was on the shore of Thanatos. I'd regained just enough energy to seal myself in a regenerative shell. I remained that way for 1,000 years. No one had ever stayed in a shell for anywhere near that amount of time. Somehow, my magical hibernation extended my life much beyond that of even the most powerful elven mages.
Why have you hidden yourself here for 1,000 years?
The world out there is not mine. It only serves to remind me of my failure. Everyone I knew, everything I held dear is gone. I myself should have died long ago. Besides, I do not fancy being worshipped as a god.
I know that feeling. The Panari think I am your reincarnation.
I pity you, then. I received a taste of their hero worship from Mannix, and I can tell you I didn't like the taste of it one bit.
An interesting point of view, all things considered.
Hold on there. Do you two realize exactly what you're talking about here? Perhaps this is an interesting philosophical debate for you two, but we're talking about the foundations of the Panari religion here.
Yes, and I believe it's very important to actually discuss it. You know, you'd think that if you heard your own god telling you to stop worshipping him, then maybe it might be a good idea to rethink your whole religion. But I don't think now is the time.
I mean, if you're not dead, that means you're not his reincarnation. Where the bloody hell does that leave the rest of us? Are any of the prophecies true? Have all of us Panari just been running around half-cocked for the last 2,000 years?
Well, to be honest, I think the prophecies don't matter. I've talked about this before. I believe prophecies are kind of... They are either meaningless or self-fulfilling, because I am doing all those things because I want to, because I feel they are right. I would have been doing them even without the prophecy, so but because I am doing it, I am sort of, following the prophecy as it were, but I wouldn't have to. From what it seemed back in Sen'ang, I could have joined the Dark Elves, which would subvert the entire prophecy. So in the end, it's meaningless, because if I could have subverted it, then it isn't fate, if I had a choice. And in the end, it doesn't matter if I am a reincarnation of Nasrudin. I guess what matters is if I have the will and the power to actually, save the world. And if I do, then regardless of if I am, the living one or not, it's still good that I, do it.
Easy, young Virgil. I know how all of this must make you feel, and I apologize for making light of your beliefs. Unfortunately, I don't have the answers you're seeking.
I mean no disrespect, Nasrudin, but if you don't have any idea as to what's going on here, then you'll forgive me if I'm having a few doubts concerning the validity of my newfound religion.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, as I said, I think he should have doubts.
Good, Virgil. If there is one thing in life that one must learn, it is to question everything. In the end, I'm sure you will have the answers that you seek. And whether or not this is all the fulfillment of a prophecy or just random chance, does it change the gravity of our situation? Would you do anything differently if you knew one way or the other?
Yeah, that's my point exactly.
No, I wouldn't. And I will see this until the end, regardless of the reasons behind it. Thank you, Nasrudin. At the very least, your wisdom warrants a religious movement, even if its followers tend to be a bit soft in the head.
I'm touched. Listen, Nasrudin, tell him about Arrnoax.
I feel as if I've been waiting to hear those words since I awoke those many years ago. I had hoped it would never come to this. Why, Arrnoax? Why can't you see the folly of the path you've chosen? What are you going to do about this situation?
He sighs. It is almost as if you can see the weight of your words piercing his spirit. What am I going to do? He is your son. What are you going to do?
I fear there is nothing I can do. I am old, tired. I do not believe I could stand up against my son now, even if I could find the heart to try.
How is it that he is still so powerful after all this time?
We do not know what life in the void is like, if it can be even called life. Who knows what sources of power could be found on the other side?
There must be some way to stop him.
I can think of only one possible strategy to defeat him now. You must retrieve the Vendigroth device that was meant to destroy him.
The Vendigroth device? You said Vendigroth was destroyed.
And so it was, above ground. There are many catacombs and tunnels lying beneath the surface. Some of the members attempted to retrieve it to use against Arrnoax, but they never returned. We were forced to battle him without it, and you know the consequence of that.
What does the device do?
Extremely powerful mages have the ability to regenerate themselves whenever they are badly hurt, as I did. If one is powerful enough to hurt a master sorcerer gravely, the mage will retreat into his regenerative shell and emerge stronger than ever. The device is the only way known to disrupt the regenerating shield.
And disrupting the field kills the mage within?
Quite so. The technology of the device is designed to disrupt the field in such a way as to cause the shell to drain the life force instead of regenerating it. Quite gruesome to contemplate, actually. Further, it is said that one who is killed in this manner is forever separated from this world, with no chance of being returned magically or otherwise.
Actually, how do they know? Did the device was it ever tested? Like, for what it seems, they made it specifically to use against Arrnoax when he threatened Vendigroth with distraction, but obviously they couldn't have, like, they didn't have time, or they didn't, you know, they didn't work out the details of it before he destroyed it. How can I find the device?
You must search the ruins of Vendigroth in the wastes where the city once lay.
Where can I find the ruins? The wastes are vast, you know.
I do not know exactly. Those days are long past, and with them a better part of my memory, I'm afraid. All I know is that at one point Vendigroth and its settlements spread out over that whole area now known as the Wastes. There was a bridge leading into the Vendigroth province. Here.
Why don't you retrieve the device?
I must conserve what little remains of my energy to banish you to the void once you have retrieved the device. The banishment spell is rarely performed by a single mage. Its power requirement is so great.
Hold a moment. You are going to banish me?
Certainly. If we were to wait for Arrnoax to breach the wards, I fear the loss of life would be immeasurable.
I guess it kind of makes sense to take the fight to him. It seems everything has fallen to me once again.
The irony of all this is not lost on myself. One might almost believe the prophecies to be true. It does appear that you are instrumental in halting this cataclysm. If only this were not necessary. I had hoped if Arrnoax ever returned, he would have realized the error of what he had done.
Judging from my encounter with him, I'd say that he had not.
Yes. It is obvious to me that he has committed himself to a path which can only end in his destruction.
What do I do once I've retrieved the device?
You must meet me at the site of the wards, the Ring of Broadguard, as they are now known. The barrier between the worlds is thin enough there for me to be able to send you across by myself. I would suggest that you bring as much help as you can recruit, as it will be no easy task to defeat Arrnoax.
Off to the wastes I go then. Anything else?
Where is the device? Have you retrieved it? Why are you delaying? It is of the utmost importance that we stop Arrnoax before he returns.
Yeah, I was just making sure I don't have any more questions to ask. You're correct, I will be on my way to retrieve it. Okay, so this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save here and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!